One God,
One aim,
one aim,
one destiny,
one destiny.
Africa for the Africans,
Africa for the Africans,
at home
at home
and abroad.
and abroad.
Peace of Black Power family. My name is Justin Crafton, and this is 401 UNIA TV. And tonight we got two special guests with us. We got to my right, Brother Taji, President of New Era Chicago, and to my left, Brother Marul Farrell, President of UNIA Division 401. So, without further ado, we're going to get to the questions. This first question applies for both of you all. What is New Era Chicago and what is the UNIA? So, Taji, you can go first.
Okay. Well, New Era Chicago is an unapologetically pro-black, action-based organization. And basically what all that means is that we're actively involved in the upliftment and enlightenment of our people. A lot of times the circumstances and the situations that we go through in our communities, most of our people are unaware how to go about making those changes that they want to see. So what New Era Chicago tries to do is be an example of the change that we want to be ourselves, and by setting an example for the community, we kind of put a blueprint out there for as far as how we can go about empowering ourselves and reclaiming ownership of our own circumstances.
The University Negro Improvement Association is our government. It's the oldest race-first organization, association, and our first provincial government, established in 1914 by the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Its whole objective is the freedom and liberation of black people all around the world.
That's peace, bro. With me being a member of New Era Chicago and a member of the UNIA, Universal Negro Improvement Association, I'm in understanding of that. It's a correlation between New Era Chicago and the UNIA. So, Brother Marul, can you speak on that correlation?
Right. It's great. When I first was exposed and introduced to New Era Chicago in the very beginning of New Era Chicago, I realized that they were Garveyites. We got the oldest organization, a race-first organization, dedicated solely to helping our people in the Universal Negro Improvement Association. Then 100 years later, right, actually 103, 104 years later, we got New Era Chicago that came up. And New Era Chicago came up expressing the desire and the work of the Universal Negro Improvement Association. They came with that flag, that red, black, and green flag. They started showing our people in the communities that we are here and that we don't have to wait for nobody else to help us change, that we can do the changing ourselves. And New Era Chicago came up, and the UNIA had a strong objective and a strong cause to actually get out there and support New Era Chicago from their inception. It's nothing like being out there in the hood to hoods, being out there with the money, with the cash mobs, the Rakia rides. I mean, just doing the things that we as Garveyites are doing. And New Era Chicago is just a young organization of Garveyites.
Yeah, that's peace, bro. I think it's very important that we pick up that torch that's been, fell down for so many years, you know what I'm saying? And what we do in New Era Chicago, we do a lot of work in the community and talk to the people. So I think that's very important. You speak on the Rakia's rides and hood to hoods. Brother Taji, can you speak more light on the programs that we do in the community?
Absolutely. Well, the first two that we spoke of, the Hood to Hood, which is our most popular program, is basically a Black Power parade. We get together with other members of the community, other organizations, and we all go out to a designated area and we clean the neighborhood up, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally and spiritually as well. Everything that we do is an example, bro, of how we should celebrate and admire our blackness. And once we have pride in ourselves, we'll start having pride in the things that we own and where we live at and things like that. So the Hood to Hood was designed to implement black love and black pride in the black community so we can get this black unity that we need. The second program, Rakia's Ride, is actually in honor of Rakia Boyd, who was murdered in 2012 by an off-duty police officer. He shot into a crowd of young brothers and sisters blindly and wound up striking and killing that sister. So in order to keep her memory alive with the residents of Chicago, twice a month we get out in the community and we pass out 400 to 500 meals, not as a way just to strictly feed the community, but it's an act of generosity that we want the community to start reciprocating. You know, once I start caring about you and you care about me, bro, that makes the community a lot more better because nobody's trying to take advantage of the next brother or sister to do for themselves. So that's what the Rakia's Ride is designated and designed for, not only to feed the bodies of the people, but the spirit as well. We also have Streets is Watching, which is our community patrol that we do in Inglewood Mondays through Friday. And with the Streets is Watching program was aimed to do, and what it has done is bring a decrease in the crime in the communities that we live in. Since we've been doing the Streets is Watching, the crime in that specific little area has decreased by over 40%. You know, and a lot of times the police want to try to take credit for that work, but before we started doing the Streets is Watching, the crime statistics weren't dropping, and they haven't been doing anything different in the community to make those statistics drop. So the Streets is Watching program Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. through 10 p.m. And it's a way of just showing the young men and the young women in our community that we don't have to depend on outsiders to come in and control us. Because when you depend on somebody outside of your community to come in and control the community, you at their whim, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You give all of your power and all of your safety and security over to somebody that may not have your best interests at hand. So Streets is Watching is designed to get the brothers and the sisters in the community involved in the process of reclaiming ownership of how we living out here and doing something positive for the next generation.
That's peace, bro. Also, can you speak on the education aspect, the youth aspect? Because not too long ago, you guys came out to my school, Movavi Middle College, and y'all came to speak with a couple of students there, and y'all really touched on me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Y'all really opened doors for me to do the work. So can you speak on, the youth and how the youth can get involved in the process of helping the people?
Absolutely. Well, the youth is a very important part of the revolution, because the youth are the ones that's going to actually these conditions are going to be passed down to them and their children. So it's best that we kind of get them the tools and the mentality that they need to get out here and combat these problems beforehand, so that they don't have to wait until they're 25 and 30 years old to be in a position to do for themselves. So we have a program called Building Young Kings, which Brother Justin is actually the president of. And the Building Young King program is basically designed to provide leadership and confidence to young black brothers in the community, so that they don't have to follow all of the negative stereotypes that they commonly see that's been placed in the community, been placed on their computer screen, placed on their cell phone devices, and placed in the music that they listen to on a daily basis. All of these negative messages and vibrations and things like that. The Building Young Kings program is designed to level that out, you know what I'm saying? So, society is always hitting our young men with a dose of negativity on a daily basis, and what we try to do is combat that with a dose of positivity. We talk about the positive things that we can do with our time. We talk about business ownership. We talk about different opportunities to allow our young brothers to get off the streets and do something positive, so that they don't have to fall into this system of the prison industrial complex. So the Building Young Kings program is basically, and the Building Young Queens program, which has already been implemented in Detroit and we'll soon be doing in Chicago, has been, like I said, has been created to give our youth a chance, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't give up on our youth if we don't provide a second chance for the youth, and if we don't get out there and actually lay it on the line for them, bro, who will?
Yeah, bro. I really feel you on that, bro. Also, which is going to lead to my question with you, bro. Is, bringing the youth out, you have to connect with the elders too. The youth have to connect with the elders. And I'm also in the process of making a program called Bridging the Gap. So I want to bring the elders and the youth together to hash out these differences that we have. You know what I mean? It's been systematic for our people to, not love each other. So for the fact that our youth is not talking to the elders is very pivotal for our growth and development as a people.
Absolutely.
So, Brother Marua, what does the UNIA do to bring out more youth and talk to the youth?
Well, one thing about the UNIA, the University Negro Improvement Association, is that we have to actually change our narrative. For a long time, and a lot of things that we hear is that the young don't get along with the old. The women don't get along with the men. Light skin don't get along with dark skin. Christian don't get along with Muslim. And all these things in the UNIA is that we have to tell the truth and call that a lie. See, that's a lie. Because in the UNIA, when New Era Chicago started, and the UNIA seen New Era Chicago, our elders, the elders were saying, that's what we're about. The elders were saying, do whatever you need to do to support them and make sure that they're around, and that if they need any type of help or aid or assistance, be out there to support them. So the elders did that. The elders said that. The elders was the ones telling me, Brother Marua has New Era Chicago going over there. Here, take some garbage bags over there. Make sure that they got, put something in their collections. So the UNIA is about all African people. I'm talking about from the unborn to the ancestors. I mean, we talking about African people no matter where you are, what age you are, what you look like, who you worship. We talking about all black people. So the UNIA, and that's what Garvey was about, was actually uniting our people to the benefit of the whole race, as New Era Chicago say. The whole race. So that's what the UNIA is. We're about supporting our people. One thing that I believe in Division 4-1 believes is that what our young people need to hear and know is that we support you.
That's peace, bro. That's peace. I think that, the fact that we all should come together, elders and youth, is very important. And I'm always speaking on the youth perspective because that's the society that I live in. So I see what's happening in the community. Kids not respecting their elders, not even respecting their mothers, bro. And it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? So this Bridging the Gap program is very essential for our people. And also, we're going to talk about the UNIA.
If before you go to your next question, I just would like to interject just a little bit into that. The narrative. They say, or people have said that we're talking about our children don't respect their elders, and we say things like they acting ghetto. Right. Or like they're acting black, but they're not. Right. In actuality, they're not acting like who they are. They're acting like who they've been taught to be. So it's real important, like with the elders, when you come to a UNIA meeting, you're gonna see 80 and 90-year-old elders who've been carrying that red, black, and green and rocking race first for years. This is not new. These are things, the Honorable Marcus Garvey would have been over 100 years old, where the UNIA is 104 years old this year. So the Honorable Marcus Garvey who was born in 1886, I believe. I'm not going to do the math on camera. I'll run out of figures, right?
But 132.
Right. Wow, so that's an elder, what I'm saying? It's an ancestor, right. Yeah. But so that's one thing that UNIA wants to do, that, we got our elders who should be sitting back and watching us. They just ready to hand off the baton.
Pass the torch.
They were ready to pass the torch. Yes,
yeah, absolutely, bro. And also, let's talk about the UNIA. A lot of people don't know what UNIA means. You know what I'm saying? Universal Negro Improvement Association. But you guys still use Negro. And in today's society, that is being pushed off, you know what I'm saying? Propaganda shows that if you say nigga or Negro now in today's society, it's something that's racist, or you know what I'm saying? It's racism type thing. So can you speak on why does the UNIA still push out the Negro aspect of, you know what I'm saying, your association?
Yeah, good question, and I thank you for answering that question. For one thing, let me just break down. The UNIA is an acronym. So you have universal, and when we say universal, we're not just talking about worldwide. We're talking about universal. So no matter where in the universe that black people are, that's who we're talking about. And we believe, and we know that the universe started with the Creator. And wherever the Creator is, that's where so we starting with the origin, we starting with the beginning, we starting universal, Negro. Well, you have to look at the times, right? And the language that we speak, a lot of us are not speaking the language or our original language. Those of us here in America, we don't know our original language. So when we start talking about Negro, we're just looking at a definition of a class or designation of race. We're not talking about religions. We're not talking about clan. We're not talking about ethnicity. We're not talking about nationality. We're talking about race. When I was young, and I know things have changed, now they're saying that there's no such thing as race. But tell the people in authority of us here in America, there's no such thing as race. But when I was wrong, it was just 3 classifications of race. Just 3. One was the Caucasoids. The Caucasoids came from the Caucasus Mountains. Those are what we would call the Europeans. But Europe is a designation of locality. But the Caucasoids were the ones who came from the Caucasus Mountains. They went all throughout, you know, from Europe and Northern Asia and all of those places. The next one that you might hear about is the Mongoloids. The Mongoloids are what you might call the Asiatics or the Asians or the Chinese, the Japanese, the Koreans. They're Mongoloid. That's a racial feature. I mean, that's a racial classification. And the last one that we will hold on to no matter what is Negro. Now, we can say we're not Negroes, we're not black, we're not this, we're not that. You know, we can say that, you know, Africa was named after some white man, you know, and all those things. But when we say Negro, all I want to ask you is, do you know who we talking about?
That's peace, bro. That's peace.
I just want to add a little something on that before we move forward.
Yes, sir.
I think also the importance of keeping the Negro in Universal
Yes,
Negro
sir.
Improvement Association is like Brother Rua said at the time, you have to reach our people where they are, you know. So you can't say the Universal God Association because most of our people don't look at themselves as God. At the time that this government was started, Negro was actually, I wouldn't say it was an endearing term for people of our race, but yeah, it was almost used as African American now. So
Right.
those who
Yes, sir.
those who classify themselves as African American in this culture now, if you were around at the time that the Universal Negro Improvement Association was started, you would have been classifying yourself as a Negro.
That's right.
So yeah, so it's not, you know, we don't want to get into the semantics of the word and things like that. We talking about everybody that look like us.
That's
It's
right.
Just that simple.
That's right. Same
Yeah.
ancestry. That's right.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
let's
Period.
also talk about religion. Religion is a huge aspect, you know, to our people. We're very divided in that area. You know what I'm saying? Spiritual warfare. Talk about, y'all both can, you know, chime in. But talking about religion, do you guys accept a certain religion, or is it free for the people? Can you talk about, you know, that aspect of the org and of the association?
Absolutely. Well, funny thing is, you know, we do a lot of work with different organizations and groups in the city, and a lot of times when we all together, you know, some of them will say, you know, all praise due to Allah, or all praise due to the noble Drew Ali, or whatever the case may be. And a lot of times there's confusion because people think because we don't have a certain religion or we don't subscribe to a religion that we don't believe in a higher power or a higher being and things like that. And that's totally not the case. You know, we're not atheists. We believe in the Creator. And we believe in nature, you know what I'm saying?
That's
and
right.
if the Creator created me and I'm an embodiment of Him, and He's a God, then I'm a God, you know?
That's right.
So that's how we look at it as far as a religious thing. Even before I started to like get into consciousness of who we are and who I am and things like that, I will always tell people like I'm spiritual. Like even before I really knew what spirituality was, I knew I was a spiritual being. I didn't subscribe to Christianity or to Islam or anything like that, because even at a young age I had an understanding that religions were used to control people, bro. You know what I'm saying? And here's the other thing about religion to me personally, not to get too far from what we're talking about, but like let's take the Bible for instance, you know what I'm saying? Now, in the Bible there are certain things that you can live your life by, you know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of false tales and fairy tales and things in the Bible as well. So my thing is this, if this book is supposed to be law, you know what I'm saying? And like you have fairy tales in there, so how do I not know that you like the other part that you're making up is a fairy tale? You see what I'm saying? So if this book is supposed to be the truth and the absolute truth, how do you have falsifieds in there and things like that? So that's one of the things that really pushed me away from religion at an early age. But as far as the Universal Negro Improvement Association, we don't judge anybody based off their religious beliefs and things like that, because we all in the same boat. We all come off the same boat. You know what I'm saying? So in order for us to make sure that we repair this boat and things like that, we all have to work collectively, regardless of what our religious beliefs is, regardless of what we do on Fridays and Sundays. The other 5 days of the week, we all going through the same circumstances and conditions and things like that. And I will say that there are some brothers and sisters from like the Moorish Science Temples and the Nation of Islam and a couple other brothers and sisters who I know that are aligned with other ideologies. Some of them do come together to contribute for the community and things like that. Right. For the most part, we don't. You know what I'm saying? Right. This group stay in their section, that group stay in their section, my group stay in our section, and the whole time the white man taking advantage of all the sections. So until we come together and have like a united front, regardless of what we believe personally, religion will always be a detriment to our community, bro. But the Universal Negro Improvement Association isn't biased against anybody's religion. We're all under the same umbrella, and Garveyism and Pan-Africanism evokes that we all should work together regardless of our principles.
That's what he said. You know, right, and Brother Taji basically summed it up. The UNIA, as far as religion is concerned. You know, the Honorable Marcus Garvey said, you know, it's race first. It's not religious first. So we don't care what religion you have. As a matter of fact, your religion is something personal. Absolutely. You know, in the teachings of Marcus Garvey, he said that God made man, or the Creator made man, Lord of creation. He said that everything that we need, we should be doing. He said the only thing that the Creator kept for himself was spirituality. So when you look at our people, right, when you look at black people, no matter what they are, that spiritual connection with the Creator is there. I don't care what religion they call themselves. It's there. They just can't help it. I mean, you know, you can be in a Baptist church, you can be in a mosque, but you will see it. That's why when black people are worshiping or they're in houses of worship, you know, and the preacher says something good, you know, you will hear them all say, yeah, you know, they're not sitting there quiet, you know, because when they feel it, they feel it. And that's one thing about us. You know, when it comes down to religion, is concerned, when it comes down to who or what we call God, looking at the conditions of our people, Christian, Muslim, Hebrews, all of those conditions, looking at the conditions of our people, I don't know if we are worshiping the right God. Because as I look at whoever we call God, we are still at the bottom of the rung all over the world. So if your God is for black people, I'm going to say, praise him. If your white Jesus is for black people, and your white Jesus is doing things for black people, you know what I'm going to say, brother? Thank you, Jesus. Right. If your white Allah or your Arab Allah is doing for black people, I'm going to say all praise is due to Allah. Thank you, Yahweh, if they helping black people. Right. But if they're not, helping our people, and I look at the help of our people and the conditions and the behaviors in which I see in our race, if they're not helping our people, then I'm just going to say, well, keep your God. Keep them over there. Religion is personal. Yeah. Spirituality is personal.
Yeah, I would like to add, you know, I like to chime in on the religion aspect, because I think I made, not too long ago, like a year ago, I made a Facebook post about, you know, my beliefs on religion and stuff like that. And I think I made one post saying that I give all my praise to my ancestors. Just to name a few, you know, particulars like Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Those are my ancestors that I give the utmost praise to. For they are my, you know, true ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones that paved the way, and they died for me to, you know, thrive. They died for our race. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, looking at it from a Jesus aspect, people say he died for our sins. So I'm looking at it from an aspect of my ancestors, what they had to go through, you know, for us to, you know, thrive in today's society. So that's how I really look at, you know, religion and stuff like that. You know, I have my own personal beliefs. It's for my own self-preservation. But what amazes me with our people is that it cripples our mind. Religion really cripples our mindset. You know what I'm saying? It programs us, you know, to not think for ourselves. Because, like you said, bro, most people that are Christians or, you know, Muslims, some of them do come out and do the work, you know what I mean? But most of them, you know, sit back and feel like, you know, that goes out of their, you know, Christian way and stuff like that. You know, that's crippling for the black community because we need all hands on deck. So we have to figure out a way to, you know, strategically come up with a plan so that all our people can come on board. But I'm also in understanding that, you know, everybody is not going to be on board. But we still need to unify as a people. But
yes, sir. If I can, just to, you know, when we start talking about religion and our people, you know, and I don't want to get confused and not see the benefits of religion.
yeah,
Because there are some benefits. You know, a lot of people get some structure and some discipline from their religion. And then what I see in our quote-unquote conscious community is that we become just as divisive against religion as those in religion.
Trade Christianity for consciousness.
Yeah, you're right. We trade, right. So we run around and we say, well, you know what? You know, Christianity has enslaved our people.
right.
But when I look at it and I see all the three major religions, they all have played negative or put negative consequences on our people.
Contradictory.
You know, but then we'll come out and we'll say, you know, I ain't trying to hit no Christian. Well, I'm gonna say this on UNIA TV, and I'm gonna say it, and you know, when you know, you take it how you want to. My founder, the one who gave us the red, black, and green flag, the one who led and had over 8 million people, members all over the world, was a Christian. So when we start talking about, well, we don't like Christians and this and that, well, you know, the man who I honor and the man who I follow, the ancestor who I think is one of the greatest ancestors that the Creator has given us, was a black Christian. So since Jesus Christ, the next black best Christian is the Honorable Marcus Garvey. So I don't know how else to put that.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
man. Yeah. Well, religion. You know, we can go.
Garvey said, man, your religion is between you and your God. So somebody else said that religion is a way of life.
Right.
So if you want to give me a religion today, right, in the UNIA, my religion is race first. My religion is blackism. So if it's black, all black everything. From the saints,
Right.
from the ancestors to the God, all black everything.
I say we can talk about religion all day.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Not me.
But,
I'm not gonna talk with you about religion all day.
yeah, but you know, it's just an ongoing, you know, conversation. You know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But let's talk about black group economics, though. That's very essential in, you know, black, you know, development with our people. We need to, you know, create some type of income to, you know, stabilize what we're doing. You know what I mean? So we do a lot of cash mobs in New Era, Chicago. So can you talk about the cash mobs that we do in terms of, you know, notifying the black businesses around the community, bro?
Absolutely. So one of the things, like the brother said, one of the main issues and the main ways for us to change the conditions in our community is through group economics. Excuse me. And one of the one of the most important things about supporting black group economics is building black infrastructure in the black community. Because as long as we have foreign-owned businesses coming into our communities, or white-owned businesses, traditionally Korean businesses, anything besides the black businesses, they take away the resources, our black dollars from the community, and then we never have a chance to rebuild our community. They take those black dollars out to Burbank, out to Highland Park, out to Oak Line, out to Kankakee, wherever it is, Naperville, wherever it is that they may live, they take our resources back out to their communities to rebuild and ensure that they have a nice neighborhood and things like that. And we're steady spending our money and our communities continue to look the same. So right now we're actually doing this shoot out of a black-owned restaurant,
That's right.
Dan's, on 79th, and is this Claremont?
What's this, Tremont?
It's just past West. Let me get the exact address.
Get that, yeah.
Yeah, 2523 West 79th Street. So that's just a little bit past Western. So, you know, this business, this brother was supposed to have closed a while ago, you know, but he left his doors open to us to come in and do this shooting things like that, to get this information out to the community. And he's a brother that's from another ideology than what we probably believe in and what others believe in and things like that. But those type of things don't matter, you know, when it comes to the common cause for everybody. So supporting black-owned businesses, creating black-owned businesses, promoting black-owned businesses is a very important part of New Era Chicago. One of the things that we do have is called the Black Business Directory. And basically what the Black Business Directory is, it's a location for anybody that's strictly focused on going to black-owned services and things like that. You can go to our directory and you can find these stores and these spots and things like that, independent contractors, without necessarily having to go on Google or go by word of mouth and things like that. So yeah, bro, group economics is a very important part of the black community, and we have to get out of the thought process that we don't have the money to make an economic change, because we do. I'm not even gonna get into the $1 trillion. Let's think about the $1 trillion, trillions of dollars we spend on weed and liquor and shit like that we don't even count. You know what I'm saying, with the government and things like that. So we have more than enough money to change our situation. We just got to be focused on the task at hand and making sure we're making the right decisions.
Yeah, man. Most of our people put habits over priorities, and that's what's really, you know, the crippling part about our people. We have to, you know, get out of that mindset. We got to detox our mind into, you know, thinking, you know, black, buying everything black. But you had anything to say about black group economics, bro?
Oh yeah. I mean, economics. I mean, it take finance to uplift the nation or people or race. You know, and we have to again quit believing the lies saying that we broke and we poor, because we're the richest people on the planet Earth. As a matter of fact, whole governments and nations are propped up by our finance.
Absolutely.
So we have to stop believing that. You know, it's not a coincidence that when you look at the business community in the black neighborhood, that we look like an occupied force. I mean, all the businesses in our community are ran by some foreigner or somebody that does not look like us. You know, this is getting real sad that you can go into these stores and you won't even find somebody of the community even working in the stores. Right. And we sit around and we give them our money. Right. You know, that's why we must support restaurants and businesses like Dan's. I mean, for one thing, the food is cooked with love.
Yeah, the cafe.
I mean, I'm talking about when we go in and I sit here and I eat every time I come up in this joint, I'm gonna go grab me something to eat. Because when I'm leaving here, not only have I had a nutritional meal, I'm talking about the next couple of days, I still feel the love off of it. You know, so it's real important for us to put our money where our mouths at. You know, we talk black all the time, but love is about sacrifice. And if you don't sacrifice, you know, it's two things that we hold real close to us to not sacrifice. That's our time and our money.
Right.
So you show me where you spend your money at, or you show me where you put your time at, I show you what you love. So, you know, as far as economics, the Honorable Marcus Garvey said that economics has to be primary when it comes down to redemption and liberation of our race. You know, that's why it was about uniting Africa. Because we wanted, the Honorable Marcus Garvey wanted to connect African resources with African people. Everybody else do it, why not us?
That's peace, bro, that's peace. We're about to conclude this episode of 401 UNIA TV, and we'll see y'all next time. We about to start with the UNIA. We about to close out with the new era, with our new era chant. So without further ado, we're gonna start right now. Put the right hand to the screen.
One man.
One man.
One woman.
One woman.
One child.
One child.
One community at a time.
One community at a time.
Until we are one.
Until we are one.
United race.
United race.
New Era
Chicago.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
Peace and black power, family.
Peace and black power. Race first.
Oh, it's gonna go crazy.